I'm going to talk about, I'm going to take about 15 minutes, talk about what are we doing currently and what can you expect with this current release. The 2.1 build has been um, tested with, and all the vulnerabilities have been addressed, and there are some key improvements on that release, which I'll be talking more about. So the key changes that you can see or our customers can see and use one of start off with is the dashboards. Now this dashboard is not about the third party in a dashboard specific to a third party integration, but a dashboard to monitor RESTMon itself. This particular feature about the dashboard is essentially putting up all of these key metrics about RESTMon, around RESTMon health and performance and the volume of the data that is being processed up on the dashboard. Now behind on the UI layer, this is will be a dashboard that will be shipped out of the box with SaaS. But behind the scene, there are a lot of metrics that RESTMon is going to be pumping or is pumping into NAS with the 2.1 build. There are about 30, 35 supportability metrics, which we are getting with the help of the out-of-the-box APM libraries. And then there are some additional about 30 or 30 odd custom metrics, which talk to us things about like, the data consumed, the data ingested, the count of the data, like count of alarms, count of metrics ingested per polling interval, what is my CPU, what is my memory. All of these details will be available on the dashboard via this. And so what you will need here is the new version of RESTMon and along with this dashboard. And again, the metrics are all in there in NAS, and the customers or you guys can essentially create your own dashboards as well if you want to monitor RESTMon. As part of the same thing, there is another feature for liveness and readiness. This is more concentrated towards the container version of RESTMon. So we already know that we have a container version of RESTMon out since the last release 2.0. The liveness and readiness goes hand in hand with what is offered out of the box on an orchestration platform like Kubernetes or OpenShift. So there are two new APIs called liveness and readiness, which enable the liveness and readiness probes on the orchestration platform. What this does is essentially help with improved availability of the pod. In case things go wrong, it's running on high memory, it crashes due to whatever reason, due to a spike in load, the pod immediately gets restarted so that the availability is better, right? And again, there's a readiness probe as well. Third is the container. So our focus is kind of slowly getting more towards the RESTMon container. Um, we so far we used to have a VM image or a WAR file that you used to download as part of the DX gateway package, and also the similar package on the support side. Moving forward, our focus is to just have the container image available on the support side to download from, and we would like our customers to slowly adopt this version, uh, obviously because of all these benefits, and so also we can also invest only in one particular stream instead of doing multiple things together at a time. There are some new out-of-the-box integrations. Namely, we have new schemas for New Relic, MongoDB, Netcool, AppNeta, Stackdriver, and ScienceLogix. These are 4 or 5 new schemas. Some of them are polling schemas, some of them are some streaming schemas. Aside from that, there is the 101 training that we have on the academy.broadcom. So please, so this is a good starter course. If you are not well versed with the functionality of RESTMon, how it works, etc., this is a good course to get started with. Also, I think this will be beneficial for our partners and customers. Second thing is the schema development guide to make your own integration. The schema development guide is available as a KB article on the support side. We are also working towards incorporating it in our technical documentation. Again, a very helpful resource when you want to develop your own schemas or extend the schemas. The documentation, we've made some changes with the documentation. Uh, it's much better now. We're also, so the key changes are we're making it little less wordy. So it was a lot confusing earlier with big pages dedicated towards each integration. So kind of making it more concise, more precise, along with mentioning very specifically what is this version of the supported tool, which was not done earlier. So in case if you go to the documentation, you'll now see that we have specific versions mentioned against the product that we are certified with, the third-party product we are certified with. Aside from that, some marketing collateral in terms of blogs and data sheet. And lastly, there is also another training that we are working on right now on the RESTMon 2.201 training, a deep dive training into the schema development. It's still work in progress, and you will hear about it soon. I don't have the dates on this one as of now. Okay. Um, so as I was talking about earlier, the liveness and readiness bit here. Um, so this is all about the yeah, sorry. So basically the coming back from the first thread that I started off with, the dashboards. So essentially you have the heartbeat metric available for availability and supportability metrics for the performance KPIs, and you have all it in one dashboard to monitor everything, and you can monitor multiple. If you have 3 or 4 different RESTmon instances running, you can all monitor it from a single dashboard. Then when it comes to the liveness and readiness probe, again, as I mentioned, there are 2 new APIs. It works out of the box on Kubernetes or OpenShift. In case customers or anybody is planning to use this on Linux, uh, it you will have to programmatically make provision for restarting the pod if that's what you desire, or you can choose not to use it. Um, so the dashboard is what it looks like today. We are still working a little, just tweaking a little bit more, making a little bit more friendlier here. So there are about 32 supportability metrics which are being sent, different metric groups, resources, health, scheduler. The complete metric list, you will find it in an internal wiki page here. And the custom metrics, as I was talking about, very helpful thing. So aside from the CPU and memory and all of those sort of metrics, you also get metrics on what are the number of alarms or metrics, what are the number of entities that I'm ingesting, what are the number of API calls I'm making, what are the, if there are any errors that I'm getting on making those API calls. So all of this information will be there in the data source, a data lake, and then it will for to use either by towards making dashboard or later on in the longer scheme of things being used to create alarms on the same topic. Okay, so I'm not going to go a little deeper into this one, and new schemas that I was talking about earlier, New Relic, AppNeta, MongoDB, and a couple more. So this is about what it does. New Relic is essentially getting all your the polling schema, which getting all your infrastructure and application data, metrics, alarms, and topology. AppNeta is a streaming schema, just does alarm ingestion. MongoDB just again, it's a polling schema. It does alarm host and clusters from MongoDB Cloud Manager.